3 mountaineers were last seen the morning of Friday, May 31st. They were believed to be attempting to summit Mount Garibaldi's Atwell Peak. The weather was partly clear that day.
There was a stretch of nicer weather where the sun was out and it was still relatively cool when those guys were climbing. The problem is, weather windows can be pretty short.
The 3 never returned and were reported missing to police, who then told Squamish Search and Rescue. On Saturday, the search began.
We responded with a helicopter and saw our members on board that helicopter, as well as sending in professional guides to try and make their way in by ground.
Those efforts were quickly called down because of the weather. A low-grade atmospheric river made its way to the south coast. Heavy rains near sea level meant even harsher conditions on the alpine for days.
It's wet, it's windy. I think the wind yesterday was around 100 kilometers an hour on the peak. Heavy snowfall, foggy.
Air access limited, but on Thursday, a big break in the weather. Clear skies meant crews could finally fly high enough to get an aerial view of Atwell Peak. Ground crews even made it to high elevations, but the effort was short-lived amid avalanche risks.
Due to the conditions, we had to pull those rescuers out of that particular area.
Shortly after, Squamish RCMP announced the search was temporarily suspended. As of Friday afternoon, the search had yet to resume, with hopes reviewing aerial footage could lead to clues. Police haven't identified the mountaineers, but said they were experienced. Local guides say climbing Atwell Peak is highly technical.
It's very steep. There's no hiking paths or anything like that. So the climbs on Atwell require that technique, specialized equipment, ice axes, crampons, ropes, and all that.
What happened, still largely unknown, but these peaks can be dangerous, even for those who are the most prepared.
We make the most of it by planning and training and all that stuff, but you take a risk at a certain point.
Risks that can sometimes lead to tragic outcomes, with this search and rescue effort now at a standstill. Jon Hernandez, CBC News, Vancouver.